to infinity and beyond.
What's up, everyone? It's Roger and James here from DisKingdom.com with episode number 120 of Infinity and Beyond, your weekly Disney video game podcast, where on this week's show we're going to be discussing a whole host of different bits and pieces, loads and loads of Kingdom Hearts news this week. We're also going to be talking about Doctor Strange and Marvel games. We're also going to be talking about Disney Magic Kingdoms and the new content coming there, plus there's other bits and pieces as well. So, yeah, it's been a really busy week for news. So, James, how's it been since last week? What have you been playing?
I actually haven't been playing too much. It's been a busy work week, but I did find time to play Disney Magic Kingdoms and work my way towards unlocking Oogie Boogie. I haven't done it yet, but I'll have them in a couple days. So that's been the main thing. Yeah,
I've managed to unlock Jack. I'm still massively behind on sort of getting through it. So I have managed to unlock Jack, which is he's the only one I really wanted from that one. That's been cool.
Yeah.
I've been played a little bit of Lego Star Wars earlier this week with a new upgrade. Finished off The Amazing Spider-Man 2, so I've ticked one off my to-do list. And what else? I've been playing a lot of WWE, been playing a lot of Lego Dimensions that's been there, because I know I've got a new Hitman contract coming tonight, or the Hitman episode, and then I think I've pre-ordered Watch Dogs 2, so that's going to keep me busy for a couple of weeks. So that's been sort of a good week. So we've got loads and loads of news coming in. So I think we might as well start with the big one, really. Kingdom Hearts. So Paris Games Week was on over in Paris. So tons of bits of news has come out about Kingdom Hearts. So first off, there were 2 new images shown for Kingdom Hearts 3. Which showed a new drive form. It looks very, very pretty. Kind of looks a little bit like it's on like Hercules kind of cloud with him doing it. It just looks amazing.
I actually haven't seen the image, so I can't compare it. But Hercules isn't a new area, because they've had that since I believe the first or second game, right?
Yeah, it just looks very like Olympus kind of sort of, whether or not it's like a training area. But I think we all know that Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to just look pretty good looking.
Yeah, I mean, it's the current generation. They've been working on it for 10 years. I don't even know at this point, but it better look really good at this point.
Yeah, they also released the opening scene of the new 0.2 from 2.8, which comes out in January, which again you can really see how the game it looks stunning with Aqua in the water and it's never looked so good, and you can really see how the PS4 is really allowing them to kind of upgrade everything. The whole intro just looks so cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen the intro for this because I was not sure if there might be spoilers for 1 and 2 at this point, since it's an intro to 3. And since the other bit of news we'll get to in a second has been announced, I'm trying to avoid not learning about stuff that has happened in a game that's a decade old, which is a bit different.
Yeah, and that kind of ties into the other thing they've announced, that Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 are going to be coming to PlayStation 4 in the end of March. A couple of different release dates. It's going to be coming out, I think, the 27th in the US, 30th in Europe, which I think is great news. This is great for a couple of reasons. First off, it's going to be running at full 60 frames per second, so it's going to be the best it's ever looked. So on that version there, you get you're actually going to get two PlayStation 3 games, but you're actually going to get about a ton of games there. So you're going to get Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, which was originally on the PlayStation 2, which is what I'm currently playing through. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which is again the PlayStation 2 version rather than the Game Boy Advance one. And then you get the cinematic version of 358/2 Days, which is something else I've been playing. So you're only getting the video version of that one. And then 2.5 consists of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix, which was the PSP game, and then you get the Recoded, which is another HD cinematic. So you're actually getting 4 games and 2 movies. So this is a perfect way of getting, if you're new to the movie, and I think this is a great thing really from our 2 points, really. We're both new to the game. I have at least played through about 20 hours of 1. I've played about another 10 hours of 5/8, and I have, so I'm into the system now. But for me, it's I brought my PlayStation 3 earlier this year, literally just to play the remix versions, and while I haven't been maybe playing it as much as I should have been because of other games and stuff, this is great for me because it means I can play them a little bit easier, and I can plow through them before free. As far as like spoilers and stuff, I'm kind of in that same thing with you. But I know I'm going to be playing Dream Drop Distance when 2.8 comes out. I know I'm going to be playing for it. I'm not really too worried too much about it because I think, in all honesty, Kingdom Hearts makes no sense anyway, so it doesn't really make too much difference. But I'm looking forward to having when the 1.5 and 2.5 come out, because my aim is still to try and get through Kingdom Hearts 1 and maybe even Kingdom Hearts 2 on the remix versions I've got before 2.8 comes out. I really need to sort of put my head down, really, and kind of crack on with that one, because the and maybe watch the movies and stuff, because in some ways, I think like the mobile or like the other games aren't necessarily a requirement. As long as you've done 1 and 2, you've kind of pretty much got yourself covered. But yeah, it's great news for Kingdom Hearts fans, because if you haven't played it for a while, then it gives you an opportunity to have it. Also, it allows, I think pretty much 2017 with the 15th anniversary is the Kingdom Hearts year. I mean, it's just going to be a massive year.
Oh yeah, and I've never played either. I wasn't about to go get a PlayStation 3 just to get Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this many times. We've been begging them to do this, and I'm sure that it was us, you and I specifically, that pushed them over the edge to get this on the PS4. In seriousness, it was a sucker's bet. We were pretty sure they were coming. Yeah. The thing that surprised me is it's all going to be in one package, one $50 package, retail price. I was expecting them to try and milk it a little bit more and actually release them separately, kind of like Activision did with the Marvel Ultimate Alliance. But I'm very happy. $50. I'll get this first day. Yeah. I've been meaning to play Kingdom Hearts for basically 10 years, give or take now. So $50 first day, so long as they don't completely screw up the port, which I don't expect them to. Square Enix has a good track record with ports, notwithstanding Final Fantasy VI on the PC, which was terrible. But other than that, they've got a good record. They're not Activision. They do good things.
I mean, I think as well as it's PlayStation stuff. I mean, in some ways, it would have been. I would have personally would have loved this maybe like 6 months ago before they did 2.8, because in some ways it's like now I'm looking at literally February is going to be. For me, Dream Drop Distance, because Dream Drop Distance is still a 20-30 hour video game, and this is the thing, like, from our point of view, there's 4 games in there. There is probably 120 to 130 hours of gameplay. If you look on the website of like how long does it take to beat, which I do that. I do that to kind of get a gist of how long I'm going to need, and it's like 20-30 hours a game. That's not going to be a lot. That's a lot of content in those packages.
And that's only if you're playing the base game and you don't go off and explore. Yeah. Which, for games like this, you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go out and find the side quests and the mini quests and get the ultimate weapons, or I don't know how it works in this, but Keyblade upgrades or whatever. Yeah. So 20 or 30 hours is a minimum. And, I grew up playing JRPGs, Dragon Quest, or Dragon Warrior, as they were called here, Final Fantasy and stuff like that. It's a 30-hour base game, but I could sink 100 hours into those easy. So so go ahead.
I was going to say, because that's it. I think again, these collections are exactly what we either we missed them, and it also gives a chance to people that have played them to like refresh them. But I think it's a good idea for them, because especially they kind of an idea of kind of getting us used to it.
Yeah. I'm just now hoping that Kingdom Hearts 3 takes a nice long break before coming out between 1.5 and 2.5, so we can really dig into these and enjoy them.
Yeah, I don't think the rest of the Kingdom Hearts fans are ready for this. I mean, literally, as per usual, anytime a new one of these comes out, they're going, just give us free already. It's delaying it. It's like, it's not delaying it. This is just literally a basic port. It probably doesn't take a lot to do it. But no, I'm excited. I think for us, it's great, because I think we're going to be able to really kind of catch up on sort of Kingdom Hearts really for next year. It's just, I think it's really going to tie people over, because you can't really, when you're sort of sitting there going, we had 0.2, which is a brand new experience, and you've got if you're on a PlayStation 4, you've basically got 5 full games to play through, being released within 6 weeks? 6-8 weeks. So there's plenty to do there.
And that's assuming you're only playing Kingdom Hearts. Yes. There's all sorts of other games coming out at the same time. Just like, man, and then movies and TV shows and everything.
Yeah, and I'm literally looking at it's like I've sort of like I've looked at it kind of go, right, okay, I'll play Hitman this week, I'll play Watch Dogs 2, and then I'm gonna have Rogue One, then maybe try and get a little bit more Kingdom Hearts done before Christmas. I know I'm gonna get a new game for Christmas, and then I've got a couple of weeks, and then 2.8, and then that's gonna be then February, and then just like.
And I think if my coworkers found this podcast, they might be talking to my boss and saying, "We need to get rid of this guy before he starts flaking out on us in March." So yeah,
and then of course you got the tons of other games. You got other things like. I do wonder. There's that kind of thing sometimes of feeling like that there are so many games and so many people have such big gaming backlogs of stuff that you want to play. It's like I wouldn't mind having a look at like The Last Guardian and even especially I think for like Kingdom Hearts fan, a lot of them are into Final Fantasy as well. And obviously you have World of Fantasy, which came out this week, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then you've got Final Fantasy 15 coming out at the end of November. Which, having played it, does feel a little bit Kingdom Heartsy with the way it played. It's like because I basically was sitting there going, "Well, should I get Final Fantasy 15 or Watch Dogs 2?" Because I did enjoy Watch Dogs 1, but I was like, "No, I'm going to be playing Kingdom Hearts. I need to just kind of not have them too similar. Let's focus on one series."
Yeah.
Having only ever played Final Fantasy for half an hour at EGX, I've never really got into Final Fantasy, so it's kind of pretty epic for that.
I do say we'll talk about it in a little bit because it ties in, but World of Final Fantasy does look pretty interesting. Looks a bit more old school. I'm not sure what I think about the whole stacking thing. It's kind of weird,
right.
But
well, this is actually quite. We'll talk about that quite right now because there is going to be a Sora DLC costume that is going to be coming to the game. It's going to be in his Dream.Distance HD outfit. They haven't really announced when it's going to be coming out. I'm guessing it's going to be next year for the 15th anniversary. So it's the first time Sora will be in an actual Final Fantasy game because he's going to go the other way. So that's pretty cool. A lot of Final Fantasy fans were happy about that. Now, have you played the demo?
I played about 10 or 15 minutes of the demo, just enough to capture a chocobo, and then I captured a behemoth as well. But then I had to go off and do something else instead. So I got enough of a taste of it to be like, yeah, I could definitely see picking this up somewhere down the road.
Yeah, see, I played the demo last night ahead of the podcast. Thought, right, okay, I downloaded it. Sat down and played it last night. I hated it. It was just like, what? Oh, this is like playing Pokemon or Avengers Alliance kind of. I don't like that kind of style. Give me a slash and I could beat the hell out of those monsters. I would be more than happy. I'm going, oh, it's one of them games. Like,
yeah.
Me. No, okay, now it's my turn to wait and decide which hit of it. And it's like, no, this isn't for me. It looks great. It looks really nice and cute. But I haven't played the demo. I can't play through that. They could put Sora in it. They could put... It's just, I just don't like that style of fighting. It just doesn't, I just don't like it.
Well, I mean, this is what I was just saying, is I grew up with these JRPGs, with the Final Fantasies and the Dragon Quest. This is what I grew up with, the active time battle and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, for me, this is nostalgia. But if you're used to more modern games for the action RPGs, or even like more modern Final Fantasies, which are heavily kinetic, even if they're following the same pattern, I could totally see why you wouldn't be into this.
Yeah. It was just like, I sort of started playing, oh, this looks nice. And it's like, I thought, well, Sora's coming, let's just give this a whirl. And it's like, no, this feels like a mobile game that, I hate that kind of style. It was like, I think, like, I know with Final Fantasy 15, it's more the Kingdom Hearts kind of hack and slash, which is kind of, what I, reaction and stuff. So that, so this one's not going to be going on my list. Even when Sora comes out, it's like, nah, it's not going to be enough to get me. It just was not my kind of style of play. And I do wonder. I think with some of the this was one of the issues with I think Chain of Memories. I think kind of. So I remember one of the games on did have that kind of card based system rather than. So it's just one of those things. It's personally just not for me.
Oh, yeah, and that makes sense. Not every game's going to be for everybody, and not every combat system's going to be for everybody. So if you like the old school JRPG style, this is for you. If you don't like the old school JRPGs, then it's not for you. I think that's really what it boils down to.
But also, do you know, it's kind of one of those really cool things. I thought it's great to have actually seen a demo put up on the PlayStation Store to try it. It's like we don't get that very often, and it's kind of, I didn't realise there was a Doom one on there while I was on. But sometimes it's quite cool. It's like with a demo just to jump in and experience it and kind of go, I don't like it, I like it. You know, and with that they've actually gone, okay, I don't like it. You know, I know the other week they did they did an Overwatch trial weekend, you know, a beta or the open weekend, which, you know, they got all these different ways to just basically say a posh way of saying demo. And I just missed the Call of Duty one. I logged on and went, oh, it ends in 4 hours and it's a 6 gig download. It ain't happening.
Yeah, I hear that. I think we talked about the Overwatch the last time they had a free weekend, and we were just like, this isn't for us. But a lot of people enjoy it, so good for them.
Yeah, no, it's cool. So yeah, so that's all our Kingdom Hearts stuff. So yeah, there's tons of stuff there. I think both of us are both in that thing and going, yep, that's what we needed. That was exactly what we wanted to happen.
So you probably remember this. I popped on Twitter and I was like, Roger, did you see this about Kingdom Hearts 1? And then I looked through my feed. It's like wall of Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, yeah, you saw it.
Yeah, I was at my in-laws and I was like, it's like I knew some information was coming out about Kingdom Hearts, and it was like, well, I'll just log on and just check. It's like, oh, and I literally, I've started taking my lap. It's like, right, I'm just going to pop next door for a minute, because it's like, I knew I had like tons of videos to watch, tons of stuff to upload. I mean, I've been watching like a couple of the different videos, like Skywing. I mean, Skywing, he did a great YouTube video where he literally, they sort of announced the PS3 version. He picked up his PlayStation 3, walked into the hallway, just threw it into the street and said, I don't need that anymore.
I have to assume that he is not the only one. A lot of people probably are holding on to... Heck, there's probably people holding on to PlayStation 2s for the original version of the game that they don't need it anymore.
Yeah, well, that was the thing I did earlier this year. I picked up a PlayStation 2 from a charity shop and picked up Kingdom Hearts. I played about 10 hours of Kingdom Hearts, and then I brought the PS3 and played the remix version, so I did that same 10 hours again. It was just like, so I'm probably not going to play through one on the PS3 version or PS4 version for a while, because it's like, no, I've done that interesting way to it.
Yeah. Well, you can live vicariously through me as I play 1.5 for your third time. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's all the Kingdom Hearts thing. So now we're going to flip over to Marvel. Now there was a new game announced, which is coming out. It's Marvel Pinball Epic Collection Volume 1, coming to Xbox One and PlayStation 4. It's going to be coming out in the US on November the 8th, coming out in the UK on the 25th. Physical disc price at $29.99 US, about £23. Includes 10 tables. You've got Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Blade, Avengers, World War Hulk, Civil War, which is the cartoon version, comic book one, sorry, Ant-Man, Venom, and Fear itself. This was kind of a bit of an odd one, really, because somehow I just gone on to one of my retailers just to literally see what was coming out soon, because I was like, well, I know there's nothing out this month, so let's pick up a new game. And saw this game pop up. I'm like, oh, okay. So I did a bit more research and found loads of other retailers have put it up. And posted it up. Oh, okay, this is cool. This must look pretty new. Literally, I'd kind of jumped the gun by about 12 hours on all the press release all coming out, because I didn't even known about it, and I literally had just stumbled across it. And I think this is a great option it's a good price. 10 tables for $30. It means about $3 a table. They're all old ones. So there's nothing particularly new there. But I thought this was kind of a cool little way of getting people into the pinball games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not everyone wants to embrace our digital future, and that's totally understandable. The physical media, there's always an amount of security involved with that, like that you'll always have it regardless of whether or not that's true these days. But yeah, this is a good way of getting people into it. Plus, retail stores have sales all the time. So, if you don't want to buy this opening weekend, I'm sure that probably by Christmas, you'll be able to get this at like $10 or $15.
Yes, the only thing for me is I kind of hoped that it would be included in your main Zen pinball, so then when I log in, I see all my tables, rather than having them sort of separate. That was the only thing I had worried with this. But I thought this was a great collection. I mean, I've only got Ant-Man from this one, but I've played a few of the demos of some of these tables before. But no, I think this is great. This is a cool little option, little extra one. It definitely... it definitely feels like we're in this zone of like, yeah, we had no major games to come out this winter, so we are just literally throwing out as many ports and collections as possible. Having gone from our last story, this kind of definitely feels like that.
And I suspect that if this sells even moderately well, we'll see a second volume with many other of the tables, because they've got a lot of Marvel tables currently available, a lot more than 10. And then they've got the Star Wars tables as well.
Well, this is what I was thinking, actually. I thought, well, this is easily going to set up a couple of releases for this one. So this is good. The plan is to pick it up. It comes at the end of November, because for me, it's like there's at least 9 tables I haven't got. I like playing it. And at that price, £20, you can't really go too wrong on that, at that price. So that looks pretty good.
I do have to give them a little credit for not sticking in like a new table that's exclusive to it to try and tempt in repeat buyers or whatever. So if you already own these tables in Zen Pinball, there's no incentive to buy this, but you're not the target audience anyway, and they're not going to try to force you to be part of that audience, which I like.
No, I think this is a good release. I think that one's pretty cool, so that one's good. Also, as kind of expected, Doctor Strange comes to Marvel video games. I think we've mentioned this before, but it's kind of, they've all started kicking in now that the movie's kind of out. Came out in the UK last week, took about 86 million in the first territories. I went to see it on Wednesday, loved it, so but I won't spoil it for you guys. Definitely go check it out. I must admit, it's one of those things, like with anything, like the future fight image that which shows off all the different characters. Now I know who they all are. It makes it a lot easier. Because he was the one character I didn't really have any clue about, really. You know, he might be an old character, but I didn't really know anything about him. So now I see all the characters and all the things. Like, oh yeah, I know what they all are.
Well, a lot of his villains and a lot of his secondary cast members all got absorbed into other books. So it's really hard to find things that are specifically Strange. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I've got my tickets for Thursday, which is the first day it's out here in the States. And I did see the preview. I saw a 15-minute preview in theaters, which was fantastic. So yeah, between your review, the advanced reviews we've heard, plus reviews from the various United Kingdom press sources, it looks like it's going to be a great hit for them. So.
Yeah, well, I think as well. I think this is this is when you know usually a movie's doing quite well, is when they release it in different territories ahead of the US. And it's like, I can't help but think it's a great, if when they know they've got something good, it can be quite a good way of building up. Because we've seen to get the Marvel ones a bit earlier. You know, this is not like Batman versus Superman where everyone's like hating on it. It's that thing of like, it actually can help build a little bit more momentum as it kind of goes through the internet of, oh, this is a good movie, we'll check it out. But, so that's cool. So yeah, they added content to Contest of Champions, Future Fight, Marvel Heroes 2016, Marvel Zoom Zoom, and Avengers Academy, and Marvel Puzzle Quest. Quick side note, Marvel Zoom Zoom is out now globally now. It's been released everywhere. That's pretty much good. So I've actually officially been able to download it, rather than through my US account.
So, well, with that in mind, are there now 3 versions of the game, or did they merge the US-Canada version with the European version?
No,
the global version.
It's just the global version, just out. I think it's just one version. We've got the US kind of world version, and then you've got the Japanese version. There's only I think the 2 ones. It's just that they finally put it on our stores so we can illegally sort of download it. So I think it's pretty much identical.
As far as I know, it's identical, and then there's the Japanese version, which is a couple months ahead. Yeah.
We also got Future Fight, so they've added a whole host of different characters. So that they've added Strange, Modo, Wong, Kalisis, and the Ancient One, and they've also added 2 new gameplay modes. I really should try that game out a little bit more than that. I kind of keep deleting it because it takes up so much space on my iPad.
I keep trying it and I keep playing it, and it's fun in little short bursts, but I don't. It feels like they have a very aggressive monetization strategy for it, and it turns me off every time I turn it. I try to play it.
Yeah, Doctor Strange, there was a new Invaders from the Dark Dimension event has been added to it, and they've also added a new Doctor Strange and Mordor team-ups, and there's a new costume as well, which is, I must admit, they're not, there's the one thing with that game I do like, is that there's not any kind of, the monetization is a lot less. You don't really feel it when you're playing that game. He's also been added to Puzzle Quest as well. So there's a new event and stuff there. There's also been added along with the ancient one to the old box for Marvel Zoom Zoom. And then they've also added Harry Potter to the Avengers Academy.
I'm sorry, did you say Harry Potter?
Yes, I'm sorry, but the version that they have done for this thing.
Oh, yes,
with the Hogwarts scarf and the hair, it just, I don't know. Yeah.
Avengers Academy is so weird.
It just looks so odd. And then also, they've also added an event quest for Contest of Champions. And also on November the 10th, there'll be a new character, and Brother Voodoo will also be coming into the game as well. See, I do like Contest of Champions. That's the kind of a game I do like. Just give us a proper port version of that one would be awesome.
If they turned it into a proper fighting game, like Injustice or Marvel vs. Capcom, I would totally be down for that.
Yeah,
especially if they could keep the X-Men characters in there.
Yeah, that to me is just one of the best mobile games. It just doesn't feel like a mobile game when you're playing. It seems quite intuitive, and you think you're just tapping and you've got these different moves. So it's definitely one of my favorite games from that one there. So that was kind of all the Marvel stuff, really. It's kind of, I think, this is, that's pretty much probably going to be the main movie tie-in till Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if they'll do something for Logan. They were a little bit iffy when it comes to those kind of movies.
I would suspect they're probably not, because it's an X-Men property. Maybe we'll get an update for Wolverine Origins, the video game, which actually wasn't bad. It was probably better than the movie was. But I think it got overshadowed because it came out at the same time as Batman Arkham Asylum, which was, of course, a tremendous game. I doubt they'll even update that, but who knows? Maybe they will.
Yeah, we'll probably see an Iron Fist thing next March kind of time. But yeah, I don't know. But I think the events, we're not going to see that kind of same crossed platform everything probably for a while. They'll probably do some comic book ones and some other ones in between. But the movie based one, I think it's a great idea. I think it works very well for Marvel, and it also shows off the different games because there's quite a bit of difference between them all. They're very, very different, those 6 games. This... And I think that's probably a good thing. I think that's the better thing with it is because now, Marvel Zoom Zoom is so different to Puzzle Quest, and Puzzle Quest is so different to Marvel Heroes. The only two that kind of maybe slightly puzzle, Marvel Heroes and Future Fight, they're the only two that kind of similar. The rest of them are very, very different.
Right. But then you're also going from mobile to PC, so, Yeah. No, their strategy for the Marvel mobile games and free-to-play games is fantastic. There's a little bit for everybody. Yeah,
it's definitely pretty cool. So that's all the Marvel stuff. So now I'm going to jump over to the Disney side of things. So we've got Disney Crossy Roads added the new Nightmare Before Christmas content. So there's a new level and a load of new characters. So that's pretty cool. They also revealed that Moana is coming, as kind of expected, with a cool little video from The Rock. He pops up, and there's first time I've actually seen them kind of promote it ahead of it, because normally they just update after everything, but this time they've actually come out as a coming soon. You can see Moana and Maui in the actual game itself, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good to see them being a little more proactive with Crossy Roads, because several of the last movies still aren't even in it. I don't think Zootopia is not in it. Pete's Dragon.
Yeah, Zootopia.
They did add it.
Yeah. Pete's Dragon, they didn't do it for.
Yeah, and I think they did for the Jungle Book and all that stuff. But all of them just kind of appeared. Yeah. And I think they're starting to take Crossy Roads seriously. They must be making at least a little bit of money off of this, because it's the one that's getting the most consistent updates out of almost all their titles.
It also seems like I think as well as it's like an evergreen game, isn't it? It can just keep. To be honest, I find the gameplay fine for a quick couple of minutes, but it's not it's something I can jump in and out of. But it doesn't keep. I don't want to be playing it every single day. As much as they have all the daily challenges, to me, it's like the new levels. They're very, very similar. There's nothing amazingly different. I managed to unlock one of the Nightmare Before Christmas characters within a day, and I was like, oh, that's all right. That'll save me $1.
Yeah, it's Frogger with Disney characters and very small variations between them. it's fun for what it is.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's making them money. Otherwise, they would have dropped it by now.
Yeah.
And heck, they're probably going to have those little vinyl packs and everything, too.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I do think it's a good little one. I think it's a kind of... I think when I look at like what Marvel are doing, like we said with the Doctor Strange event, I look at what the Disney games and thinking, right, come on guys, get like Crossy Roads and Magic Kingdoms and Zum Zum, get you all on the same page and start doing this kind of a Moana event and A Nightmare Before Christmas and be a little bit more connected, because at the minute they're all a little bit like lopsided.
Yeah, especially when you look at, say, like Disney Magic Kingdoms or whatever, which tends to be years behind the movies.
Yeah, it's not been. I'm hoping it's like that thing. Yeah, they'll add some Moana content or something like that quickly to it. But yeah, so that's kind of I think the Disney side of it, because they only really kind of got those two games. Like I said, we got the Bimax DS pack and the Lost Quest. I think that's out. Like either it came out in the last couple of days or it's out like today, I think, in the UK. So that's out on DS, so that's another little one. But yeah, I think that's been the main one. As they keep adding little events to the Marvel to the main Zum Zum game, I'm going to be honest, you can't keep up with all those. Again, if I could just buy the character I wanted on some of these character games, I would do it. I'm just not buying mystery boxes. It's just not something I'm not interested in. But yeah, so that's kind of, I think, to be honest, all the Kingdom Hearts stuff really kind of blew all the Disney kind of content out the way. Apparently, Disney comes to a Sky Garden farm in the Paradise. I picked this one up, and then after I realised, why have I never heard of this game? And I realised it was a Southeast Asian game, because they've got out there. They've had these little flower pots to some weird random game. Right,
I remember reading that, and it's just like, this has zero impact on my life whatsoever.
Yeah.
Well, the thing good for them.
Yes. Well, the thing is, sometimes I'll get these like news come through on a press release, and it's like, for me, it's like, we are a global community. We will have viewers in Southeast Asia, so therefore, it's that news is news, and therefore that covers it. If something happens in Shanghai, it's just as important as something that happens in Disneyland. It just happens, but we tend to get a little bit more news out of the US parks. But yeah, I do think a little bit more globally. It's like if it happens anywhere, it's fine. Also, we have for Xbox gamers, Games for Gold, Secret of Monkey Island is going to be in November's free games. So that was an old Lucasfilm game that they've remastered a few times. So it's free if you've got an Xbox One. Even though I've got an Xbox Game to Go, I'm not going to touch that because it's not my kind of game.
It's not my kind of game either. But the LucasArts games do have a nostalgic following behind them, and it certainly doesn't hurt to throw a bone to them every once in a while. Between this and I think the Humble Bundle, the PC package of games at a discount price has 2 of those games in there as well. So if that's your thing, if you like the old school LucasArts games, Grim Fandango, Day of the Tentacle, or Monkey Island, it's a great time to be a fan of those.
I must admit, I played the Days of the
Day of the Tentacle?
Yeah, I played the remastered one earlier this year. And I enjoyed it. I played a lot of it on Vita and stuff. But yeah, they're just not my kind of... I didn't really enjoy them when they came out. And so it wasn't really...
I always like the humor in them, but the actual gameplay means nothing to me. It's like find random object and then figure out where a random object is.
It's kind of quite weird because it's like, if you think back to when they came out, you didn't have any strategy guides. If you got stuck, I think my frustration level would just go through, and you'd have to go into school the next day and then ask around and see if maybe someone hadn't got to the level, and then you've got to try it again. I didn't really have the patience for that when he had Sonic and Mario to play. It just or I think probably around that time. I don't know if the PS1 was probably a little bit too early for that. But yeah, you kind of it's just the kind of games. But that is cool. I do think Disney seem to be doing quite a few of these sort of adding in a few things with Xbox this year. They seem to have added a few. We had Tron earlier this year, which is on my stack of things to play. So no, it's always cool to see Disney Interactive chucking some of their older ones on these platforms. I think it's a good thing for them to do, especially get a little bit of movement on them.
I would love it if LucasArts, now part of Disney, obviously, if they would kind of produce some new content of their own that was not Star Wars.
Yeah,
I love their Star Wars content, but go back and make these trippy titles like Day of the Tentacle and see if we can get some support going for those.
Yeah, I don't think they'd even be looking at a single thing of this stuff now with Disney, the way they if they can't license it, there's no chance. But but there again, there's so much more indie games nowadays. I think they've really kind of been able to do that, which I think Games for Gold and PlayStation Plus really allows indie game. That's probably the only way I play indie games. Really, is what comes through there and have a blast. But yeah, it's one of those things. Those platforms. I always view that if you get one game a year with those platforms that you like, then you've got your bargain.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I think I've gotten a couple this year that have been good on both platforms, but I'm probably going to let my PlayStation Plus membership expire at least for a little while.
I think Transformers Devastation was my game last month. That was awesome. I love that game. That was such a cool experience. And then you had WWE in the September Games for Gold, I think it was, which I was still playing last night. So yeah, I've actually feel like those two games alone were enough just I think if I get one out of the two, essentially I get like 8 to 10 games a month for free, and I barely play any of them.
Yeah, of course. Well, most of them aren't worth playing, but they hit such a wide range of genres. They hit such a wide range of publishers and types of games that inevitably you'll get a couple each year that are worth your continued money. Although, I mean, you still have to question how much of it is actually a free game, considering it's a paid service. But
yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I think the final thing really was the first siege of Takodana was added to Lego Star Wars: Force Awakens, one of the new levels from the season pass. I'm going to be honest, I was a little bit confused. I thought it was the final pack because the other one, the names are all so similar. I feel like I've played parts of it before, but this was a brand new story, and told the story from Kylo Ren's point of view of landing on Takodana and trying to take out Finn and Rey. Good little level. There was some good fighting, sort of some good airship stuff going in there. Nice to play it from the villain side of point of view. Good little level. Again, I can't complain at these level packs.
No, the value is there. They've done a good job of making the season pass actually worthwhile for the Lego games. I mean, most season passes in general, I'd be like, no, this is not worth it. You're asking for too much money for things we don't know about. But Lego has done a good job with them. Yeah. And this one, Force Awakens, has been a great example of that. I still need to go back and play most of them, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we've got one more level to come. Whether or not that comes this week, who knows? Depends what. Yeah, there's no other Lego. No, I don't think there's anything more there. We've only really got one more pack to come, and that was the end of Lego Star Wars: Force Awakens, which will probably then lead them wide open to. I'm just trying to think when would they announce like Guardians of the Galaxy or Rogue One? It's kind of like they're gonna. I'm thinking it's gonna be way into next year before they announce anything like that. Just keep pushing dimensions.
Well, that and they don't want to cannibalize any Christmas sales, so there's not going to be any announcement until after Christmas would be my expectation.
No, you're just thinking it like we're getting to November and then it's like, right, everyone batten down the hatches. All the big games are out and stuff. So no, that's pretty cool. So it's going to be good to see that on. I've been playing a lot of Lego Dimensions this week. I've been plowing my way through the main story. The trouble is, what was that there? It was like the other night, I was like, right, I had a load of level packs, and I always have this. It's like, right, I'm going to play this. I put the top figure down. It's like, oh, you've got to build it. I mean, it's like, I've got to build the vehicle. Okay, I build the vehicle, and then I put down another one, and I built another vehicle, and then I put down another one and built another vehicle, and then I'm like, oh, well, I've actually ran out of time. I haven't actually got enough time. I put 2 hours aside by the time because I brought all those fun packs while I was away, I sort of put them on and was build. By the time I built everything, I didn't even touch the game.
I don't build the vehicles anymore. I get a little label, just a sticker label. I write down, oh, this one is going to be the Mission Impossible car, MI car. Stick label, put the cylinder one so that it sticks up a little bit, and I'm good to go. And it's like now I've got a box full of Lego parts for cars.
Well, stuff. I must admit, I got out the old my little tray that I used to use for Vinimation, and I put the figures in, and I'm looking at all these vehicles and going, yeah, no, this isn't. I built the Harry Potter train, and I'm going, and like the Superman car. So I've never used it. I'm thinking I'm at that point where I probably need to put the tags on and just forget it and just put all the parts into a nice one big box like I was when I was a kid. Because the minute you got a new box, everything just went into the big pile, and I never built it. And you just used to pull out the big I used a big Ninja Turtle tin that's still in my mum's in the cupboard. And you used to pour it all over the floor, and that was it. Everything was in one big pile.
And the pile would inevitably spread, and you'd be stepping on Legos for weeks.
Do you know what the other thing is? Every time I play the game, I usually at that point I will start building, and I will usually lose a part underneath the sofa. I have to keep lifting the sofa up. I lost part of the arcade kid. His head went underneath the thing. It's the head. I have to find it.
Yeah. You can just steal a generic head. That's not important.
It was just that weird thing. I'm there crawling around on the floor, lifting up sofas, trying to find Lego bits, and I'm going, this is what it's. I didn't get any of the gameplay.
The worst for me is I had some assembled, and my cats knocked them off of the table onto the floor at some point, and I found all of them except for the base for one of the vehicles. So I've got somewhere, I don't know where, in my house is a random Lego Dimensions, the actual NFC base, and I have no idea where it is.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to be following your suit with all the vehicles, but all the parts in the thing. The only one that is different is the Batman. You've got to have the Batmobile. The Batmobile is solid.
It's the core vehicle.
It's kind of strange as well because I sat there and I had 15 different characters now, sort of. And it was that kind of thing. I'm playing for the main storyline. It's I only need the 3 characters. It just doesn't. Every time you needed to do something, you needed those 3. You couldn't put. It's I don't really like Wildstar, so I don't really. But I had to keep using her because of the moves and Batman. But I tend, Batman and the Wicked Witch, and I was set.
Yeah, I know that there's people out there who think that's blasphemous. That you have to 100% every level and find every mini kit and find every gold part, and just no, you don't. Yeah, I mean, some people do, and that's cool if that's how you play. That's great, but. I'm just here to enjoy the story and the interactions between the characters. Yeah.
I must admit, I found with the 2 Lego games, or the previous Star Wars and Lego game, it's I'll finish the main story, and I'm going, I've only got 25%. I've done everything. It's I can't just, I don't find the fun in just grinding through a game to unlock everything. I don't need all these different characters. It doesn't mean the same for me. It's fine, move along. Same with Lego Force Awakens. I've loved the main campaign. I loved all the little extra levels, but I don't need to go into all the different worlds and find all the little, things and stuff like that. It's just not how I like playing Lego games. I enjoy them, but for me, they're very much kind of jump in, jump out kind of. You don't really need to spend too much time doing it. I ended up spending like an hour playing Little Big Planet 3 last night for some bizarre reason because I couldn't be bothered to get up and plug in the Xbox. Carry on.
Yeah, they've got all these in the PC or the regular Lego games, not the Dimensions one. They get all these random characters. Do you really want me to unlock, Red Skull's henchmen? I don't need the henchmen. These guys have no useful abilities. There's no point in having these characters in this game. I'm not going to hunt them down.
No, it's definitely been an interesting one with all the bits and pieces. But it was definitely a week that I was not expecting so much video game news. I was expecting maybe a little bit of Doctor Strange content, and that was it. But the only thing that really kind of, like I said, is we've also got Battlefront with Rogue One, but it definitely feels like the Star Wars side has been kind of, they haven't really got a lot they've only really got those 2. They've only got the PC Old Republic game, which still keeps going. I still haven't got around to playing, but it definitely doesn't quite. I think it's a lot harder for them because once they do the main stories for all characters, they haven't really got a lot to add to games.
Yeah, I was actually tempted to go back to the Old Republic because they sent out an email being like, "Oh, if you subscribe by such and such date, we'll give you this bounty hunter companion, and she's awesome, Shay Vizsla, who's a great character from the original version of the game." And just but am I actually going to play this game? And the answer is no. It's kind of surprising, the lack of information. We haven't heard about Rogue One characters being added to the various Star Wars mobile games.
They've added they've added some to Commander, I think. They did that last month.
Right. And I fully expect that we'll see some of them join Galaxy of Heroes at some point. But they really need a new Star Wars mobile game of some sort, because the ones they have right now are very stale. Commander, if you're trying to join Commander now, you're just going to get stomped because it's a multiplayer game.
Well, I think with that one, they usually tie you to people of your same level as you. So you're not being destroyed. The trouble is for me is I hadn't played for 4 months. When I logged in, I had been basically destroyed, and it was almost felt like starting from scratch, because been kicked out of the group, been lost all my points, just been lost.
Yeah,
I went, delete.
Yeah, so I hope they announce something new, a good Star Wars mobile game or two. I don't have any on my phone at the moment. Not since I think I deleted Galaxy of Heroes, because again, a very predatory monetization scheme on that game, and it's just like, no, I'm not going to go into this. So if they release a good one, I'll totally be down for that. But
I think as well, for me, it was that thing with again, it kind of had that world of Final Fantasy, that kind of turn-based system just doesn't work for me. But no, I mean, I'm looking forward to Rogue One on Star Wars Battlefront, because I think that's kind of going to be the I would almost say like the end of Battlefront, really, probably for me. Because I think that's going to be like the last update. I think they're going to go quiet for most of 2017 till 2 comes out probably next September, October. I can't imagine them doing too many updates next year. That might be way wrong, but I have a the season pass is coming to the end. And they don't want to be. They need it to kind of die off before they come out with a second one.
Well, they might do some like free updates where they add some like bounty contracts for Jabba, or maybe some cosmetic changes that you can unlock in the last couple of weeks. Some sort of incentive to kind of build up some hype to 2, which will inevitably be sometime next year. They need something else, though. They need more than just Battlefront to keep us entertained, one way or another.
I mean, Battlefront obviously they are working on, I think I got like 3 or 4 games in the pipeline, but it's like one a year. We got Battlefront 2 next year. Then we're going to have, I think, the one that the woman, Amy from Uncharted series, she's doing like a platforming kind of game. Respawn are working on another shooting game. So there's at least, we know we've got a couple coming up, but I do wonder with Battlefront whether or not I mean, I sort of say it was a 2-year lifespan. I mean, the game only came out a year ago, but I think in gamers' mind, it's like with Call of Duty and all. People are expecting the new one every year. This like season, if they start going down the episode they could do that with episodes. Well, it's a 2-year game over episodes and all the rest of it with a season pass, but I don't think they fully, like shooting games, everyone wants that kind of that Call of Duty kind of jump in year out kind of upgrades, new story. But then they have different development teams making different ones. I know with Battlefront 2 they've brought in some different teams, because we've still got the VR add-on as well coming in this holiday season.
Yeah, of course. And you know what? Maybe we'll see some remasters coming out. I wouldn't mind playing like Force Unleashed 1 and 2 again, or something like that.
You see, so. I picked up the Force 1 and Force 2 are back on like May 4th on the Xbox 360, because they were on sale, and they're on the Xbox One backwards compatible. So they didn't. We're not necessarily going to see, I think, a remaster of that one for Xbox, because you can play. But I've played through number 1, and number 2 is on my backlist of games to play. But yeah, so they were a lot. I really enjoyed number 1. I thought that was a really fun game. But again, that for me was a new game. This has been the one thing since Infinity died off. I've really been kind of jumping into these different games that have been on my list or been backwards compatible. Or because someone put on Twitter was like, "Oh, I haven't finished any games this year," and I went, "Yeah." And then I went, "Hold on, I've done this one, I've done that." I was like, when I started listing off the games, I've probably finished more games this year than I have for years, because I've sort of been doing one game and just blasting it, do another game, blasting it, and I actually realised I actually have finished a lot of games this year.
I mean, when you go back and look at it, you did a lot of levels in Disney Infinity. There were a lot of different levels to download, not just the play sets, but the Toy Box Artist stuff. But yeah, it was hard to explain that to people. Well, I've played 30 levels of Disney Infinity, and they'd be like, "Well, so you didn't actually do anything?"
Yeah.
No, I played 30 levels, and they were great. But
or I spent 60 hours building a toy box.
Yeah. 60 hours, you amateur.
Well, that's the thing is, I mean, I definitely feel like everything that came out once, like Disney Infinity 1 came out, I remember playing all the playsets and stuff. It wasn't till about like January, February that I started getting into the toy box. And then for me, like the whole of 2000, I think it was 2014 when 2.0 came out, right through till like Christmas 2015, all I played was Infinity for basically a 18-month building toy boxes and doing videos and playing the play sets and downloading the top 5 and all the rest of it. I barely played anything in that year, and now I'm like, well, I have been sort of jumping around something crisis.
There's so many good games to get caught up on now, though.
Yeah, I know. I've already got the list. It's like, I haven't got enough time to play all these games. I've been very much like, I've just been like, right. I feel quite good this week because Sunday I think I finished off Transformers, and then Monday I finished off Amazing Spider-Man. Plan is this week to hit the new Hitman contract, and that'll be season 1 finished. Also want to get Lego Dimensions main story and some of the levels done by the next week by the time Watch Dogs 2 comes out. So I feel like I was just like, right, let's start clearing some off. It's like Spider-Man finished, delete. Right, Transformers finished, delete.
Yeah, exactly. It takes discipline.
Yeah,
you got to stick with it. Otherwise, you suddenly find you're in the middle of 5 games and they all have similar control schemes but slightly different, and you're trying to play Batman, and all of a sudden you're using the Tomb Raider controls. And
yeah, I was doing that last night with Little Big Planet. It took me like 20 minutes. It's like I kept pressing the wrong button constantly, trying to change the costume when I was trying to do something. No, the button's on the wrong side. And yeah, but no, that's pretty cool. Right, well, I think that's pretty much all of this week's news. It's going to be slightly... We're still managed to just about an hour, but with the time change, you're a bit later than I'm a bit earlier. And
I am.
So that should be cool. Well, on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. James, where can they find you to?
You can find me on Twitter at VagabondPeak, and that's it for the moment.
Yeah,
I haven't updated the website in a couple of weeks, but I have to jump back into that.
You did anything over at the Res or Coin Up TV this last couple of weeks?
Nothing for Coin Up TV yet, but I've got 2 reviews in the pipeline.
Excellent.
So those will be coming up shortly.
Cool, that's good. It's cool. It's cool as well because I think because he's I know that he's kind of been branching out, doing a few more videos and story reviews of like sometimes kind of sort of like indie games and stuff, which I think has been kind of quite cool to sort of see. Because sometimes it's like yeah, I know, like even when I'm doing like a review of some of like the Disney stuff, sometimes it's some of the mainstream medias never pick up on, they're always like this, now they'll be focused on Call of Duty and all the rest of it. But yeah, and I also think that now generally like reviews, so many different companies don't give you review content, even if you are lucky to get it. But everything has to wait till the game comes out before anything can start playing it.
Well, I mean, there was that whole brouhaha with Bethesda software this past week where they're like, we're not going to give you code until a day before it launches. Well, Bethesda, you make games like Skyrim.
Yeah.
The game doesn't even start until you've played like 50 hours worth.
No, it's basically on the lines of, right, we are holding everything back so as many people buy it on the first weekend and then realise it's like, and they're going, it's like, we don't want to spoil it. It's like, no, it's like you're just trying to cover your bases to make sure that any game is great, does well over the first weekend. It's like a movie. If there's no previews ahead of the release of the movie, it's like, well, there's a reason for it. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes they get away with it. But, it's like, okay, don't give it to every YouTuber or, little website. But, give it to at least like 5 of the big boys. At least give it to...
Give it to the guys who have earned the trust to tell the truth about these things.
Yeah, but don't delight them.
Yeah, but it's so weird because they did this with Doom, And then Doom ended up getting really good reviews.
Yeah.
And it turned out, it's like, well, why would you hide that?
Yeah.
Why would you not want people to go, oh, hey, yeah, by the way, Doom, that it had that beta, which was terrible, and people hated. But don't worry, the actual game is good. Look, the reviewers say the game is good.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a lot more like reviews in progress, kind of initial thoughts on day one stories for a lot of gaming, because it happens a lot. I mean, you know, you do get that a lot with games where you literally get them the day of. You know, sometimes I think it's done. You know, it allows for game companies, they will send them out slightly differently to different divisions, so that the news comes out all on different days. Like, you know, this one review doesn't hit every single site on the same day. It kind of spreads out and kind of gives a little bit more press coverage. But yeah, I must admit, day one review, you've got a 40-hour game to play. The reviewer has got either churning through it so quickly he's not going to enjoy it.
Yeah, well.
So, or then it's like, yeah, like so they haven't got time for it. But then like Final Fantasy, I think they sent out like a 15-hour demonstration disc or something like that, so they could play it for 15 hours, and that's just their first impression. At least, like,
yeah,
you know, that's when you've got that's when they've got confidence in the game to do it. I think that's the way to look at it.
It's one of those weird things, and I don't really have faith in consumers to make a great choice on these kind of things, but I am hoping that consumers will look at this and go, well, if you're not going to let us get accurate reviews, then we're not going to give you money on day one until people have had a chance to tell us whether it's worth spending money on. Or we'll take advantage of Steam's refund policy and screw you over like Batman did.
Yeah, well, I think pretty much. I thought everything on PC eventually had to be, or every game fails. That's the only thing I ever read.
Yeah. Well, these days the PC ports have been just awful in general, with the exception of BioShock. BioShock, which admittedly was a remaster, looks amazing and it runs amazing on current systems. So if you've never played BioShock, if you don't like first-person shooters, maybe not so much, but if you've never played BioShock, that's a good one to jump in on.
Right, well, on that note, guys, be sure to check us out at DisKingdom.com and our Facebook group, Infinity and Beyond. Hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. You can also hit that subscribe button on the audio versions as well. Like I say, check out James over at vagabondpeak.com, your number one source for Vag and Bond.
You better be careful how you say that.
It's like, is it a mountain in your region?
Actually, yes. When I first founded the site, I was in the middle of West Virginia, in the middle of the mountains. So yes, it made sense at the time.
Yes. to the English person going, what is this?
Well, you know, you can pretend it's in the Himalayas. It's all good.
Yeah, it's the Yeti. Well, on that, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you guys soon. Later.